I am muting all of you, and that's just the way we're going to do this for right now. So we started talking about Outliers Chapter 2, which is the third chapter, actually, that you guys have read in Outliers now. This, I will tell you guys, is probably the most important chapter and the most famous chapter, at least out of Outliers, because it lays out basically Malcolm Gladwell's theory for the rest of this book, which is that it takes 10,000 hours for somebody, in any profession, to become an expert in their field. They need to spend 10,000 hours doing whatever they want to do. And that's in anything in life. Usually it takes 10,000 hours for you to achieve that goal. So this week I wanted us to talk about that and talk about some people that we think kind of match those 10,000 hours and how they match them. But here's a couple of things I want to go through first before we start going into like the actual content of the book and stuff like that. I had an assignment due last night, which none of you did. And partially that was my fault because I put the wrong date on the 18th for the 18th instead of the 25th. So a reminder didn't pop up for you guys to do this assignment. I'm opening it back up, and you guys can still turn it in. It is not going to be late unless you don't turn it in to me by Friday. You guys should get this done and do this today. So that way you can have it done and just in, and everyone's good to go with that. But that was my fault. I think out of all the classes, I had 3 people turn it in for the 50 people I have in all my English classes. So it wasn't just you guys. It was like everybody. So I think that was on me for not putting the right date on. But I know there's a lot of people who probably didn't even think about doing an assignment yesterday. So if you have not thought about that and doing it, I would definitely suggest doing it tonight and today, so that way you guys can get that done and get those points. I have your grades ready to put in. I have not gotten the official word of whether I can put them in just yet, but I am planning on doing that today once I get the official word that I'm good to go to put them in the grade book. Ada, there was an assignment from yesterday. On Wednesday, you guys have one assignment to do because that's your independent work day, that you guys have one assignment to do on Wednesday. And then I'm letting you guys know this now, that Friday, usually was planning on having you guys turn in quizzes on Fridays too, and do like a bigger assignment on Fridays, but now that's being pushed back. Final grades were 2 weeks ago. And they're done. So like all those grades are done and put in. I just need to wait until I have to go ahead to put new grades in for what I have now. I have your grades done and I have them in a spreadsheet. I just need to put them into the actual grade book. Until they give me the go-ahead, I can't do that just yet. So you guys are basically so now let me back up too. So Fridays are usually when I was going to have you guys do your other big assignments on Fridays and turn those in. Now, however, that is being switched. I'm going to have you guys turn them in on Sundays from now on, because I think like Miss Boyd is having her assignments due on Sundays, and a couple other people are having their stuff due on Sundays as well. So I am also going to switch to you guys having to turn in that one assignment on Sundays as well. Your Wednesday assignments are still going to be Wednesday because that's your independent work day where you guys are doing stuff on your own and like either reading an article that I have for you guys and like writing about it, answering questions. That's stuff that you still need to turn in on Wednesday, but your Friday assignment is now going to be on Sundays instead. So you guys have the weekend to do them and catch up with anything you might need to catch up on. So let me know if you have questions about that, but that's basically the way it's going to go from now on. So Wednesdays, you guys still need to do your assignment from Wednesday. If you've not done that, do that now. I'm grading you on your participation in class, meaning that you show up, and not only that, but you're not disruptive fully. And then on Fridays now, your assignments are no longer due on Fridays. They are due on Sundays. And tomorrow you guys have work study tomorrow. So I am not having you guys, I'm not requiring anyone to come in for office hours tomorrow, but if you get your work study stuff done and you want to talk to me, just send me an email and we'll set up a time for you guys to talk. I hope everyone's good with that. So, but that's basically all I wanted to say for starting this off and making sure everyone's good with that. But what we're going to do now is, since you guys should have read chapter 2 from Outliers, I want you guys to now that you have basically an idea of, or getting an idea of what an outlier is or what makes people successful, now I'm going to have you guys kind of talk about that a little bit more. So what I'm going to do is have each of you come up with an example, and this can be from anyone, from any type of profession, athlete, musician, actor, person in your own life, whatever it is too. I want you to talk about somebody that you think spent 10,000 hours to become an expert in whatever field they are going into. Okay. So again, 10,000 hours in any profession that you think that somebody, and it could be for anybody. So I'm going to go to each of you and ask you whether you have an example of somebody who may have hit those 10,000 hours. Okay. So I'll give you a minute to kind of think about it. If anyone wants to start, I'm going to unmute you guys. And if anyone wants to start, you're more than welcome to. But if there's anybody who has an example of 10,000 hours, go ahead and share that. So,
Ronaldo.
Right,
Bruh, that's what I was gonna say, bruh.
Oh, no, I was gonna say
He
that.
spent more than 10,000 hours, so it doesn't count. Come on.
Okay, Philippe, you said it second, so you're first. Why is Ronaldo a good example of of a person who spent 10,000 hours becoming an expert?
Because I seen videos on him how like he'll stay after practice and before practice and just keep working on his stuff for his technique, and that he wasn't the most talented player, but he'll work hard to become one.
Yeah. So he the other class, somebody had this had him in the other class too. Do you know how many when he started playing?
Wasn't he like 10 or 12? I don't know.
He actually was younger. He was 7 when he started. And he was 7. His dad signed him up at 7 years old for a professional team, for an amateur team. And he had 3 years of experience already playing amateur ball from 7 to 10, about 7 to 11 years old. So, Yair, do you think he hit 10,000 hours in just that time then?
Not when he was a kid, probably, but later on. Like maybe when he was in his teens, probably.
Okay, but think about it. Like, how many hours do you think he probably spent if he was doing amateur stuff? And many of the soccer players in Spain too, when they are they go right from, they usually skip a lot of school too. Do you think that he probably got those 10? So you think it took him a little bit longer to get 10,000 hours though?
Probably not, but he probably hit them. But I don't know about Ronaldo.
I mean, it's a really good example of somebody who probably spent a lot of time practicing, because it's not just games, right? It's like practice and just little things and like organized practice and practicing on his own. There's a good chance he could have hit 10,000 hours before he became a professional, and even as he was becoming a teenager, and probably a very young teen too. So that's a really good example of somebody who probably now has way more than 10,000 hours and probably hit it before he was even a professional soccer player. So he was a professional and then was already 10,000 hours into being, a pro. So it's a great example. Anything else about him? Do you think he has a good work ethic too, Yair?
Yeah. I seen this one post that one of his old players, like after a game, he wanted to go work out, but the other player was exhausted.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And he kept going.
That's pretty cool.
That dude has a motor that just doesn't stop too, and he's 35, and he doesn't look like he's slowing down at all.
No.
All right, cool. Good job, Yair. Anyone else? Philippe, you got one?
LeBron James.
LeBron?
Yeah, LeBron's a god.
Okay, so what about LeBron? When do you think LeBron started playing? Do you know?
No clue, but he probably started young.
Okay.
How
And I don't think 10,000 hours is that much, especially for like Ronaldo or LeBron.
Well, if you spent 24 hours a day and like 7 days a week without any like time, it would still take you 419 days to do 10,000 hours. So you couldn't get 10,000 hours done in a year. And that's going without you sleeping. And basically you could die before you even do that. So that's why it's a long time to actually be committed to something. But LeBron is a good example. And also, do you guys know when Ronaldo was born? By the way, I forgot to tell you this also. Do you know when Ronaldo was born? He's born in February. And the cutoff date for soccer players is January also. So he was born like just those hockey players from the first chapter. You have a wonderful face. Just for the perfect picture right there. he spent 10,000 hours already doing that. So he was already at an age where he was in the perfect age group where he was probably bigger than most kids and was already talented, but and LeBron too. LeBron was born in December, and I think the cutoff date for kids in the United States is August for certain things.
Yeah. That could have been it.
Philippe, is that you?
That wasn't me.
What was it?
Who is that? Who is that?
Did she hear?
No, it's not. I'll show you.
Show me what?
Is that me?
It's not me. It's on his parents, bro. It's Evelyn.
It's Evelyn. It's her little brother screaming.
No.
I was on mute. How is that supposed to be me?
I don't know. That wasn't me, though. Neach is on mute.
Stop muting yourself, Neach.
Emily, you put Sebastian in the fridge?
So weird. What is
That's
that?
messed up.
No.
Yeah, you did.
He was just sitting.
Hold
It
on.
took
I'm
like
trying to figure out
45
what this is.
Why? But he kept on moving?
No, the funny thing is, I know exactly what video this is. And so I think it's me, but I don't know what. I don't know where it's from.
He's like, who's on my history, bruh?
That's weird. That's weird. That makes me feel like, all right, cool. What the heck? Hold on. This is bizarre. I really don't know where this is coming from. Well, it's because this dude was talking about Musically. You guys know what Musically is or was?
Yeah,
And he's talking about
TikTok.
Musically and how creepy it was.
it is TikTok.
Oh yeah, TikTok. Oh, well, did they steal it or did TikTok steal their own?
It's the same thing, just
It's
different.
the same thing. They just changed the name, basically.
Is that it? Is it dead now?
Yeah, we don't hear it.
How weird.
You hacked into his thing, Philippe.
Bro, I'm a hacker. I know where he lives. I have his IP
Trust me, Philippe. I'm
address.
watching you.
Eddie, show me your dog.
Oh wait, Adam, was that you?
Philippe,
What?
he's going to run right now.
Yes, that was me.
That
Bro,
was
I'm trying to go work out, bro, with Luis.
Were
No,
you
I'm
wa-
just kidding.
were you watching a video?
No, I'm kidding. I was on mute the whole time.
Bro, that run last time hurt me, bro. I was sore for days.
All right, so let's get back to this. All right, let's get back to this. I'm muting you all again because I know Philippe is gonna try to, you know what? I think it is me. This is weird. You know what it is? I think the video from earlier is playing. Yeah, it's me. Oh my God. All right. All right. I'm figuring something out. This is weird. All right. Let me call you all back because I need to figure out what's going on because the video that I recorded from earlier is playing and it's still playing and I don't know why. I need to figure it out. It's bizarre. All right. Let me. Oh, man. This is stupid. Oh. God dang it. All right. I figured it out. I figured out why. Philippe, I saw that. Don't do that again or I'm kicking you out. I know you can hear me. Yeah, don't even try to lie about that. All right, again, so we've had two people go. Evelyn, do you have an example of somebody who was an outlier? I unmuted you. Okay.
Outlier, like,
Or at least somebody who's hit the 10,000 hour mark. Can you think of anybody in your life or professionally or anything like that, who's hit 10,000 hours?
I think also an athlete that I watch on YouTube. She plays for BYU in
Okay.
where is it? Utah.
Okay.
And I mean, maybe she hit those 10,000 hours.
What does she play?
Basketball.
Okay. And do you know when she started playing? Do you have any idea?
Probably middle school. She started really young. I don't exactly know like what age, but she started super young.
Okay. So she played in middle school. Let's say she was practicing 5 days a week and playing like 1 day a week. So like 6 days a week. Say it's fair.
Yeah, and she did
Probably doing like, let's say she's
camp.
doing like 15 hours a week. Is that right? Say playing on average like 15 hours a week, and there's 52 weeks in a year. She would only be doing 780 hours a year of playing. So then on top of that, if she started in middle school, and how old is she now?
I think she's 19.
So she's 19. So she started playing let's say she started playing, she was like 9. Right? So let's say she's played 10 years. And now, the other thing too, as playing on a college team, she probably is playing more hours. But technically speaking, she might not yet hit the 10,000 hours. So that's a lot of time too. That I think that's the other thing that I want to get across in this chapter. That's a lot of time to commit to being a really good athlete. So is that discouraging?
Kind of.
Yeah. Or what does it show you, Evelyn?
You have to have a lot of dedication
Okay.
for those
Fair.
10,000 hours.
Fair. Philippe, I'm kicking you out in about 2 seconds if you don't just sit down and pay attention. You get a 0 then. Okay. I would be quiet. All right. Cool. Thanks, Evelyn. Ada, what do you got?
How do I mute myself again?
I can unmute you.
I don't got nothing.
You don't have anything?
About an athlete?
No. Anything. Doesn't have to be an athlete. Can be anyone who's a professional. Could be somebody in your life. It could be anybody. Just somebody who's hit the 10,000 hour mark.
Kobe.
Okay, Kobe. Great example. Do you know when Kobe started?
No.
Kobe started at a very young age. Started about like 5, 6, 7 years old, I think, something like that. But he started at a young age, and his dad was a basketball player too. So he probably started even younger. He at least saw it, and he spent but probably the same thing. He spent many years, working at it, maybe 15, 20 hours a week, and then as he started to become older, he not only had the talent for it, but he started to play a lot more, and he was tall, so I think that helped. Do you think that? But do you know what Kobe's work ethic was like, Ada?
Huh?
Do you know what his work ethic was like?
No.
Kobe's?
Mm-hmm.
You don't have any idea what Kobe's work ethic was like? Do you think?
Huh?
How hard do you think Kobe worked?
How hard?
Yeah.
Very hard.
Yeah. Why?
Because that boy's a professional.
And Yahir said it, what I'm looking for in the comments. The Mamba mentality. Right?
Oh, Mamba.
Mamba mentality. Yeah. That idea that you put in the work and you get out what you put in, right? He read this book.
Shine is
Kobe read this book actually, and he read it and thought of the 10,000 hours and thought of how much work he put in, but he put in even more work than that too. So Kobe's a great example, I think. Do you think that?
Yeah.
Do you think that it's just hard work that makes you successful then, Ada?
In a way, because if you really want something, you're gonna work hard for it.
Okay, so you have to want it in order to actually do this.
Yeah.
Okay. Does it help? Can you become a professional at something and hate it?
I guess so.
Okay. All right. Think about that more.
I don't know. I feel like I don't know because I don't know because like I feel like you in order to become a professional you really will have to want to do it.
Mhm.
But there's also people that are good at what they don't like. So I don't know.
Okay. That's fair. I think I think you're right to say both of those things. All right, good, Anna. All right. Helen, if you're on, do you have anything?
No.
Come on, you don't have anybody?
No.
There's not one person that it doesn't have to be an athlete. It could be anybody who's like like an actor, a person in your own life, could be somebody that you know. I mean, it could be anybody. Okay. I'm gonna come back to you.
No.
I'm gonna come back to you. Think about it more.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's see. Anthony, you got one?
Mike Tyson.
Mike Tyson. All right.
Yeah,
Cool. Why Mike Tyson?
because he's the GOAT, man. I love Mike Tyson
Why did he become so good though?
because he trained nonstop.
Okay. Do you know when he started boxing?
Like 1980 something. Somewhere around
Well, he
there.
was how old? I think he was about
18.
he was 18 when he started.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then look
Was
at
he
that.
boxing before then, like as a teenager or anything, or no?
Yeah.
Okay. So he started pretty young, and his idol was,
1985
he
at the
started
age of
85
18.
at the age
Mhm.
of 18. Okay. That was professionally that he started, or like
Yeah.
okay,
Professional debut as an 18-year-old on March 6, 1985.
okay. So he probably started a while before then, because his favorite athlete was Muhammad Ali. That was his idol, and so he started probably a long time before then. But do you think he had 10,000 hours by the time he started boxing?
By the time he started,
By the time he started professionally boxing, do you think that he probably like had 10,000 hours?
okay, so I just he says he started when he was 13. Just
So he started
boxing.
with 13. Okay,
Okay.
gotcha. And do you think
Maybe.
by the time he turned 18, 19, he started boxing professionally?
Mhm.
Okay. Because let's say he was doing like 20 hours a week, give or take, like 20 hours a week, 52 weeks in a year. It would take him almost 10 years to get 10,000 hours. So he probably, if he was going to hit that mark, he probably would have needed to do almost like 30 hours. Yeah, he would need to do about like the math that I did. He like would need about 6 or 7 years if he was doing 30 hours a week in order to hit that by the time he turned, or probably in order to hit hit 10,000 hours, he would need to do basically 40 hours a week of work in boxing. So that's like a full-time job, and that's a lot. That's a lot of boxing too. So I don't know. That's crazy. But the dude was also just tremendously talented. Also, so that helps. He probably is. Do you think he said? Why do you think it makes it hard for boxers to hit 10,000 hours though?
Traveling, I don't know.
Can you imagine getting hit in the head for 10,000 hours?
No.
Your body probably couldn't take that much hitting.
Yeah, because I'm not Mike Tyson.
Well, true. But, even Mike Tyson can only get hit in the head so much before the 10,000 hours start to wear on you, I would assume. So I think that's why 10,000 hours for boxers are really hard, because their bodies wear down. So football players too, you can only do so much until your body just shuts down on you. So I don't know. That's interesting. That's a good one. That's a really good one. I think Tyson's an interesting example. Thanks, Anthony. Let's see. Sanchez, you got one?
Hmm?
Who do you got?
President Obama or
Obama. At being what?
I don't know, a politician.
Being a politician. All right, cool. Do you know what he did before he was president?
He was a senator at some small city. I don't know where.
Senator for Illinois.
There you go.
Yeah. So he was a state senator first, and then he became a United States senator in a really short amount of time. Do you think that he spent 10,000 hours becoming president or being president?
I think so. Yeah, he got reelected. Everything.
It's true. Yeah, that's very true. Um, I mean, well, this is a good question, I guess. Do you think that people should have a certain amount of hours doing something that makes them qualified to become president?
I say so. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
why is that?
Oh, when Trump came into power as president, like he had no experience whatsoever on like leading or being a part of government in general. He just
Right.
had a lot of money and that's it. And
Well, and he definitely ran a huge organization that made a lot of money.
oh,
So some people would
that
consider that experience.
that too.
It might be a little different than running an entire country. But I mean, everybody who comes in to be in as president really doesn't have any experience. They're kind of just learning on the job, right? You
Yep.
can only be president so many times. So
But I feel like Obama did have experience, especially on leading.
yeah, that's true. That's true. He spent only a couple of years though as senator, so maybe he didn't even get 10,000 hours before he, But he also was a community organizer. He did a lot of other stuff that was about leading. So you're right. Maybe leadership is a good thing for how many hours you need as being a leader. It's a really good question. I don't know.
Yep.
Do you think that? I think we'll bring up the Marines right now too. Do you think that you will get 10,000 hours being a Marine?
I signed up for 4 years, and if I last those 4 years, then I might re-enlist because I have nowhere else to go.
Sure.
And yeah, so
Yeah.
probably, yeah,
So
probably.
let's say like you get to how much would it be? Let's say you get to like 10,000 hours. How long is basic training?
Basic training is 3 months.
3 months. Okay. Do you know how many hours you go on during basic training? Like how many hours you?
Dusk to dawn.
Okay,
That's
so
how.
maybe like 14 hours.
Yeah,
And do you go every day, or do you get like a day off or anything like that? Do you know?
just Sundays off. That's it.
So 6 days a week.
Yeah,
So let's say you're going like on average 13 hours a week, or no, 13 hours a day, and then 6 days. So you're doing 78 hours a week. And then for 3 months, that's like 12, 13 weeks, I think. 13.
yep.
So that's how many hours you're only getting for basic training.
It's a head start.
It's a head start, but then you still have like 9,000 hours to go to be. So do you think that that's enough to teach you how to be a Marine? A Marine?
I think it all comes with the experience.
That's true.
So,
Yeah. So, but that's what I'm saying. Like, that's not that much time to kind of get you for your basic training, at least. That's not that much time to get you like trained, right? So that's why I think it's interesting that we talk about becoming an expert, but then we expect you to be an expert soldier in only 200 hours, and that's really like challenging. That's very, very challenging to do that. So,
it's the whole point of boot camp.
yeah, that's true. So.
Challenge you and put you under a lot of stress, and then when you feel like giving up, you just have to keep pushing. That's
True.
the whole point.
True, very true. All right, awesome. Okay. Let's see. Myra. Let me try to unmute you. Myra, you got one? Myra. Myra's gone. Myra fell back to sleep. I unmuted you.
Oh,
There you go. There you go.
now it works. It wouldn't let me unmute.
What was yours?
I said my dad
Okay. What does your dad do?
work.
Okay. Thank you, Captain. But what does he actually do for work?
He's a painter.
Okay. How long has he been painting?
Since I've been born.
So,
As long as I've been born.
so like 20 years, let's say.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How many hours a week does he work?
Like 8, 7, 8.
8 hours a week? Or 8 hours
Like
a day?
Monday through Saturday.
Okay. So Monday through Saturday, 8 hours a day.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. 8 hours a day for 6 days a week and 52 weeks in a year. Your dad probably by the time so that's 1 year. 2,496 hours, basically. And then by the time he probably in 5 years already was an expert. So he's probably way above that now. So that's a great example. And that's why, like, becoming an expert in something doesn't mean that you have to, like, necessarily, it's not like a pro athlete thing or anything like that. I mean, very few people are pro athletes, but you can still become an expert in something. So it's interesting. Do you think that you, is there anything that you, that, like, do you think your dad would be replaceable, like, in a job or anything like that? Or do you think he's really good at what he does now, so it's, like, really hard to replace that kind of professionalism, basically? Wait, did you mute yourself? Myra. All right, I unmuted you.
Okay. Wait, I forgot what you said.
What do you think it would be really hard to replace how much time and effort your dad has put in? Like if somebody wanted to, like, does he work for himself or for somebody?
Somebody.
Okay. Do you think it'd be really hard to replace him just because of how much?
Yeah.
Okay. Why do you think that is?
Because he's like the head of his job, kind
Okay.
of.
So he's like the top guy, basically.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I think it would be really hard to replace no matter what. So, all right, good. Let's see. Yahir, Sanchez, Myra, Helen, Philippe. Let's go through. Eddie, what do you got?
Kobe.
Kobe. All right, we talked about Kobe already, but what do you know anything else about Kobe that you can add?
I wasn't here when you guys were talking about Kobe.
Okay, well, no, that's fine. What were you talking about? How does Kobe how does he match up with the 10,000 hour rule?
He talks about how you should be a better player than you are by pushing yourself.
Okay.
And I guess because I've seen a lot of videos, like when he died, about how he talked about, pushing himself and waking up earlier and practicing, hitting the gym harder than anybody else, trying to be unique in that way.
True. Do you know what book he read?
Nope.
He read Outliers.
No way.
Yeah, he read this book. He talks about it. He talks about how he spent 10,000 hours as a kid, and he realized that this is where he became an expert, but spending more than 10,000 hours to become better than what he is. Kobe talks a lot about how, like, he wasn't the most talented person on his teams a lot of the time, but he outworked everybody. And that's the truth. I mean, he just worked his butt off in every single, facet of his game. Do you think that do you think it was just hard work that got him to where he was, or do you think it was something else too?
I think it was hard work.
Just hard work.
Yeah.
Do you think he had to get lucky?
No.
Why not?
Because I think it takes a person to be strong to push themselves that much, the way he pushed himself.
Okay. That's interesting. All right. Thanks, Eddie. All right, just a couple more people. Kathy, you there?
I don't know what we're talking about.
We're talking about Outliers Chapter 2. We're talking about the 10,000 hour rule. Have you read Chapter 2?
No.
Come on, Kat. So
I'm
make sure
listening
you
to
read
you
it.
guys. Okay.
So what it's about how people who are really successful, usually are professionals, spend 10,000 hours on whatever they want to be really good at.
Oh, okay.
So we're talking about people that we think spent 10,000 hours actually becoming really good at whatever they wanted to do. So
Okay. Can I give an example then?
sure.
So my dad, he's a truck driver. He's been
Yep.
doing it for like years since I was like little, as I
Okay.
remember.
Okay.
Um,
How many hours does he work in a week, you think?
well, he sometimes stays like in LA. He won't come home, so that's a lot of hours. I don't know how many hours that is.
No, that's a good point. And truck drivers usually drive forever.
Yeah, yeah. And like, well, he kind of risks his life by like accidents, like a
Oh, I'm
lot
sure.
of truck drivers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think that he spent how many like do you think that it's just him driving? Like do you think that he's a pretty good driver for the most part?
Well, yeah, because he's never switched jobs, he's always stayed on in that job.
Okay. And do you think it would be hard to replace him just for the amount of hours um uh the amount of hours that he's put into his job and becoming really good at it?
No, I feel like they wouldn't replace him because he's been with the same like company for like that amount of years.
Yeah.
Because they keep like they know he won't like, let's say, oh, I can't go into work. Like he doesn't do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's just really hard to replace somebody like that, right? When you have
Yeah.
that much time and like that much effort that they put in. So that's good.
Uh-huh.
Good one, Kath. All right, couple more people. Alex, do you have anything?
Not really.
Okay. Can't think of anybody?
No.
All right. Is there anybody like that you follow who puts in a lot of time to this kind of stuff?
I can't really think of anyone right now though.
Okay. Think about it a little bit. All right. And because this actually will be an assignment that I'm having you guys do. Actually, this probably will be your final paper that I have you guys do is write about somebody who is an outlier. So you have to find somebody who hit the 10,000 hour mark at a certain point in their life to become an expert at whatever they're doing. So think about it a bit, so that way you can hopefully start thinking about who you might want to write about. And then last one, Dom. Do you have anybody?
I thought about like two people, but I don't know if either one of them applies.
Go.
So I thought about this one actress, Ellen Pompeo from Grey's Anatomy.
Okay, good. Why? Why her?
I don't know when she started acting, but Grey's Anatomy has been going on for like years since it started in 2005.
I think it's like 15 years, something like that.
Yeah, they have 16 seasons with a total of like 360 episodes.
Yeah. So they have 360 episodes. On each episode, probably, and when an actor does it, they probably take about maybe like a week to really shoot like the entire episode. I would say like maybe less time, but like, so that takes up a lot of time. Do you think she's hit the 10,000 hour mark just with this one TV show? Too?
I mean, probably because the amount of hours that they spend like memorizing their lines and reshooting scenes, and she's been on since the beginning.
That's a great example. Yeah, I think she's probably hit that mark already for sure. So, what was your other example?
Oh, my other example was an artist, Khalid.
Okay. Why him? Is it a guy?
Yeah.
Okay. Why him?
Just because I feel like he's 22 and I feel like he's been singing for like most of his life. He has like 2 albums and 1 EP in the past 3 years.
Okay. Good.
And then he releases a lot of singles.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. I think that's a great example too. All right, guys. Well, that's that's really all I want to go. We went longer than I thought we would. But so here's the deal. For those who showed up late, if you are, I think Kathy kind of showed up late and a couple other people. Again, your Wednesday, you had an assignment due on yesterday that you guys need to turn in. I'm not grading it late because I messed up and put the wrong date on the assignment and it didn't show up on your reminders. But you guys need to make sure that you turn that in as soon as possible so that way I can give you a grade for that. That's the first thing. So your Wednesday assignments are due hopefully by tomorrow. I want you guys to try to turn them in tomorrow, Saturday. Your Friday assignments from now on are going to be due on Sunday because it just gives you guys more time. But they're Sunday at 11:59 p.m. because I think other classes are doing the same thing. They're going to have them do it so that we guys have the weekend to do your assignments and do what you need to do. And then that's about it. Hopefully you guys are thinking about what you're going to do. I'll unmute you. Now you guys can unmute yourself so that way you can yell Fleet.
Neach.
There we go.
Neat.
Yeah, Adam.
So
Neat.
you said that
Why does he drink his water like that?
you said that Kobe might have hit the 10,000 hour mark, right? Because he started since he was 5.
Yeah.
So since I know more about my dad than Kobe, because like my dad has been working since he was 5.
This is Blendu.
Yeah. Has he been doing the same job? Has he been doing the same job since he was 5?
No, he's been working. Mostly, yeah, because when he was a little boy, he was working in the fields. He never went to school.
And he's doing that same job all the way through.
No, he probably started working in construction once he became a teenager.
Okay. Well, but if he was a teenager and now he's, I assume been doing the same job for almost 30 years, right?
He's still in construction, yeah, but I'm not sure if it's been 30 years. Yeah, I guess so.
I would check in. I would ask him because I think this is really important. A lot of you guys probably don't think about the fact that because I think in Outliers they kind of just think about 10,000 hours a year or professional or something. They give examples of like Bill Gates and all these really like very, very, very successful people who are like outliers who are just ridiculous.
So wait, on the assignment, the 10,000 hour assignment, yeah. I thought you were asking about us, like what did we do it?
Yeah.
Did we have to talk about somebody else?
No. That's what you guys. No, that's you guys.
Okay,
Whatever you want to be successful at. It's basically you doing the math and seeing how long it would take for you to be successful. All right.
Did we have to do the little worksheet you had on the top before the questions?
Yeah. I want you guys. I want you to attempt it at least.
I attempted it.
No,
I turned it in already.
Again, it's not like this is math. It's not a Lovelace class. So you guys just do what you can. Like, think about how long it might take you to do whatever you want to do. That's, it might take you a long time to become a professional at whatever you want to do. And even then, like, who knows if that ever happens. So I think the assignment is just showing you how long it takes for you to actually achieve that goal. That's all it is. So. Sound good? All right, guys. Well, I miss you all. I hope you guys are doing well. Let me know if you have questions, but you guys are free to go. I'll see you all next week. And some of you I'll see in Econ later today. So
see ya.
See you soon.
Bye.
Love you guys. Bye.